Welcome to Good Morning Football. We've got preseason action tonight right here on NFL Network. It's a big one, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Washington football team and that defense taking on the Patriots. And that defense, question mark, in Foxborough. We'll talk about it and break it down here at the breakfast table. First round pick, Mac Jones will make his debut. He's looking good in camp. We'll have all the details you need. And that's not all. It's just the start. 8 preseason games live on NFL Network. A doubleheader on Friday, a quadruple header on Saturday. Oh, man. We'll get to see Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields make their debuts. We've got you covered all weekend long. The rest of the NFL, the future starts today.
That's right.
Tonight, hours from now. This is GMFB. We're presented by Audi on this Thursday, August 12th. My name is Kay Adams, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, and I'm in official countdown mode. And the number of times I get to say my friend Nate Burleson is here, too.
You get to say it all year long.
Do I?
Just not with me at the table.
Okay. It's very cloudy with that.
I would say that.
I don't really know what that means, but...
I'll be on the show every week, Kay.
Okay. So
We don't get it. I'm not even sure
That's
you
a
get it.
flash. You are?
Yeah.
At GMFB.
Yeah.
Any more details on that in a break? We'll get right to it right now with the lead block.
Lead block.
So much to talk about. Game day. We've got preseason action. The Washington football team taking on the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Just 3 preseason games this year, so I feel like everyone's a little more interesting. Everyone is a little more important, and both of these teams have stuff to figure out before the regular season kicks off. So, who do we have more questions about heading into preseason action tonight? Washington or New England, Nate?
It's New England, and it's the quarterback situation. The question is, what is Cam Newton going to do this year? You know, I've been very high on Cam Newton making this comeback, and Kyle's been very adamant about us looking back to 2015 and thinking that Cam Newton can recapture that magic. I feel like he was, you know, unfairly put in a situation where he was criticized for not being as good as we wanted him to, but he also joined the team late. He was trying to get a hold of the playbook while he was thrown into the flames, and now he has an entire offseason with an entirely new cast surrounding him, so the talent is there. But the biggest question I have, how much of that playbook does Cam Newton know? Because it was clear last year that Cam Newton was still struggling trying to get the concepts and make sure that he can deliver the ball down the field to playmakers, which is a question if they had or not. But now, Cam Newton, after a year under his belt, knowing the playbook like the back of his hand, if he can open up this preseason, I'm talking about just surgically picking through defenses. I know they're going to be fairly vanilla, a little black and white, but come season time, they can open up that playbook a lot more than what we saw last year, and they'll be a lot more smooth in their offense.
And I don't blame Cam Newton for any of the shortcomings. He's been hurt. He got sick. Like, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's just, this is football. We got to be good, and we wait a long time.
And he didn't play well. There's moments where he just didn't play well. But I feel like it helps to know the playbook a little bit better.
It does. And listen, this question, I love it because we got the game. I think it's the Patriots like in a runaway. I think the Patriots may have more questions than almost any team in the league.
Sure.
The Cam stuff, let's get inside football. Let's roll them off. Is Hunter Henry going to be healthy? Can Jonnu Smith be a star? Can N'Keal Harry be a star? Can anyone on this offense be a star? Who's their best running back? Are the opt-out guys going to just pick right up where they left off, even though we've seen guys go away for a year, come back and be missing something? Is Matthew Judon ready to be a Pro Bowl pass rusher? Their first draft pick after Tom Brady was a guy named Kyle Duggar, a safety from Lenoir-Rhyne University. Is Kyle Duggar a real person? Is Lenoir-Rhyne a real university? I don't know. How good is Kyle Van Noy going to be returning from the Dolphins to the Patriots? And is Nate really leaving Good Morning Football to become Kyle Van Noy's personal manager? Is his first sit-down on CBS This Morning going to be with Kyle Van Noy? I can only hope so. Will Chase Winovich be a pass rusher? Will we finally see Giovanni, his mannequin, or has it been down into the Ernie Adams cellar where Bill Belichick put it? I'm not even asking the big questions like, maybe was Bill Belichick just a little teeny-weeny bit product of Tom Brady, and can Cam Newton really throw a football? There's a lot of questions about that man's team right there. I don't know how many answers we're going to get tonight, but probably a few. And if they don't answer yes to several of those, they're going to be an also-ran in their own division. A lot of questions. In Washington, I can only come up with one.
Yeah, and look, that's an amazing analysis of a team and going deep dive. But like with Washington, I almost feel like it's the opposite, whereas we're picking apart that New England quarterback position so much this offseason, and it's fair to do so. I think we all just, Kyle, again, you'll appreciate it. I think we all just were like, oh, they got Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, Washington's way better, and they're going to the playoffs, and they're good. I don't know if Washington got better this offseason, and everyone watching at home is going to say, well, wait a second. Alex Smith was really good last year, and then when he went down, Heineke really was good in the playoff game. You insert Ryan Fitzpatrick, who everyone loves, and Bill Belichick was raving about when they were asking about him in the media yesterday, which was awesome to hear. Ryan Fitzpatrick's never played in a playoff game before. And I understand. You could say, well, come on, that's not on him. He's been on so many teams, and he's such a great veteran leader, and he's gotten hurt. And I was like, Washington, they fancy themselves Super Bowl contenders. Like, they look at themselves, they've got a defense, they've got skill position players coming out of every port. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, all right, we're going to the Super Bowl. I don't know. Look, Ron Rivera said they're going to play their starters tonight. That's a reason to tune in. I think we're going to get a little Fitzy. I think we're going to see him for a little bit. And then we're going to see Heineke and Steven Montez. Like, we're going to see some of these quarterbacks. But I don't know. I can't say for sure. This was not a team that went 11-5 last year. They had 6 wins, right? Is that what they were? 6-10, and they made the playoffs? I think that's what it was. Might have been 7-9. They were under 500.
Yeah.
So with the Patriots, yes, there's a million questions, but at least you're naming names and players and,
Good points.
Proven entities.
Right.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, after 17 years, I don't know if he is a huge upgrade from Alex Smith. I want him to be.
Yeah.
I love the dude. And
You hope he is, right?
All the momentum and inertia is in the right direction. But let's see. It's still a question mark.
To me, when I heard the question, Triggs, the quarterbacks like canceled themselves out. Like, I have just as many questions about Ryan Fitzpatrick as I do about Mac Jones, as I do about Cam Newton. So then I'm tipping it in the scale of New England a little bit because I know Washington has a dominant defense. I know they added to it. It's the other defense. I'm like, what do these opt-outs look like? Are they good? Are they coming back? 100%? Is the defense going to be top 5 like it was? I think this defense needs to be 2019, last year of Brady in New England, good, because their offense was 15th even then. And I know that they added and spent, but does it all come together to make the sandwich? I don't know.
I agree. Like someone like Dante Hightower, who takes the whole year off. I remember back when we would talk about Le'Veon Bell all the time. He took a year off, and we're like, hey, if he stays in shape, then he should be fine. There's something that happens that we've seen where they just don't have it the same. So I agree with the defense completely. And I think regarding the Fitzpatrick thing, there is a whole cult of personality that we buy into. If Ryan Fitzpatrick shaved, had no kids, is a 60-year guy from Hartford instead of Harvard, I don't think there's as much hype about Washington. I think people are happy for him, are excited about it because everyone likes him.
Yes.
But if the football is never been great, and so the idea that Washington, Fitzmagic, that's all nonsense. That's all fun. It's not football.
He did an interview with Kim Jones. I guess it was 2 days. Kim was at one, and it's so good.
He's great.
It's so easy to
Amazing
fall
guy.
in love with it, and it's like this. I love this guy. I love
I
this
know.
guy. And yet, 16 years in the league, not a single playoff appearance for Ryan Fitzpatrick. We want that for him. I think that would be awesome. Like the same way we wanted Larry Fitzgerald to go off with a Super Bowl ring, and the same way you want to see all your Jerome Bettis walk off into the sunset. Ryan Fitzpatrick, like, I don't know if he's as much of a slam dunk as 95% of the people talking about the Washington football team believe he is.
No, you're right about that. And here's the thing. When you're looking at the Washington football team, that defense does jump out to you. I mean, on paper, they're as good as anybody. But I'll go back to the New England Patriots. Are we going to count them out after 1 year of disappointment? Don't be surprised if the New England Patriots shock some teams, and some of your favorite teams, maybe even in the AFC East. I'm looking at the Bills. They are as good as any team in the business. But there's a difference between being good right now and sustaining that level of excellence. The Patriots have done it for 20 years with one bad year. The Bills have done it for a couple of years. Let's see if they can do it again.
It's the Washington football team at New England tonight on NFL Network. There is another game. Let's hit this one up quickly. Get you guys some Dak Prescott sound. Yes, the Cowboys taking on the Cardinals at 10 p.m. here on NFL Network. Dak Prescott started throwing again this week after that shoulder strain. According to our very own Jane Slater, he will get a follow-up MRI. Was not going to do that until he leaves Oxnard and returns back to Dallas. And yet, Dak was asked just yesterday if